Everybody, it's your boy Brinkerhoff17. I'm here with the HPL guys on the HPL channel. I have in the booth Shake and Bake and Colts Boy, same as last week for the Xfinity race at Daytona. How you gentlemen doing tonight?
I'm all good. Excited to be back for another race, especially at Auto Club, a track I really love very much.
Yeah, good. Excited to be back, like he said. We had a great showing last week, and I highly doubt this week's going to disappoint.
I highly doubt that as well. Yes, we're going to Auto Club, which can only happen in Sim World now, as the track in real life is in shambles, being bulldozed over for warehouses and whatnot. And what lays for the future of auto racing in the Los Angeles metro area remains to be seen. But we are here tonight racing at one of our favorite tracks. It is sure to give us some high speeds, some really close moments. Draft is obviously at play here, but not quite the same as it was at Daytona. This isn't a hit the accelerator to the floor and see what happens. This is going to be a little more meticulous. We have to enter these corners. We have to get the speed down these long straightaways. And in the Xfinity cars, it can be a little tough. These things run a little heavier. They have a little less power, which means that their draft's a little less effective, although albeit very effective still. Um, but sometimes these guys, you might hear them just like driving a tank, a power couch back in the day. Some of you old guys might remember that. Those old Cadillacs and Oldsmobiles, those power couches. It can feel like that. These things will plow through the corners, but at high speeds. I mean, you guys tell everybody how is it driving these Xfinity cars here at Auto Club?
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. For some reason, these Xfinity cars are just so much tighter than what you'll deal with in the Cup cars when we come here next week. And I mean, you're going to see a lot of guys run a much looser slider for that very reason, and you'll also see at the very end of the run how loose these cars can get off of exit. So you kind of got to manage both of them. I mean, if you don't want to be tight, you're going to be loose at the end. So there is no real perfect combination for this, but I mean, they definitely do plow, and I think you'll see early on, especially before people have the chance to put any adjustments into the cars, you're going to see cars kind of, washing up the track and maybe even a little bit of contact early on in this race.
Colts?
I mean, I think she knocked it straight perfectly. It's tied off in the start, you know, loose off in the corners once your tires starting getting worn down. It's going to be about hitting your marks correctly in the right spot and staying out of trouble. And it's also going to be interesting about track position and all the other aspects going forward.
And yeah, track position is definitely going to be huge, especially when we get through some green flag pit stops in some of these stages. The Xfinity cars, they carry less fuel. So the fuel runs are almost proportionate to what they would be with the Cup cars, given the shorter race length we have here. This is normally a 300-mile race, so for here it'll be 150 miles. I think that works out to like 90 laps or something like that. But it's a 2 mile oval, D-shaped oval. The front straightaway is curved. The back straightaway will be straight. The banking is fairly steep. It's like 35 degrees runabout. You can Wikipedia this stuff if you really want, and so could I if I wanted to be accurate. But I didn't, and it's just something that we're used to. We've seen this place a lot, and like the Cup cars, these guys are going to try to hit the same line. They're going to start these high arcs, end up at the bottom. And like you said, track position is going to matter because if you're high on the line or low on the line, depending where you might have more cars, you're going to see runs happen and you're going to get stuck somewhere. It's going to be a lot different to Daytona where guys won't be running the low line every lap around because you kind of have to change low to high as you get to the straightaways.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong in saying that. And I mean, talking about track position, just looking at the sign-up sheet that we have tonight, we got 24 full-time drivers and we have 3 hot seat drivers. So that's 27 cars we're gonna have on track if everybody shows up. And I mean, track position will be huge. I mean, 27 cars is a lot of cars, especially for a league race. And I mean, a non-super speedway. I mean, we talked about how important draft is going to be here, but I mean, if you're starting middle of the pack and one person makes a mistake and you lose contact with the front pack, I mean that's pretty much your stage. Or if you're in stage 3, that's your race because a lot of times people are going to get too antsy and instead of staying in line, I mean you're going to end up battling for 11th place rather than working together to get yourself back up there to have like a shot at the win. So, I mean, track position is going to be huge. 27 drivers, it's going to be very important to make sure you hit your marks at all times. And, yeah, it's going to be big.
I happen to like the big fields, personally speaking, but I know that there's a lot of people that think the sweet spot for these races is something like 16 to 20 drivers. Like you said, last week we were about 23 or so in both series, and here we are at 27. So I don't know how often you guys have hit 30 in your races at HPL, but I don't think it's been that much. But here earlier on in the season, you know, Colts, what do you think that's going to do having some guys out here that are going to be, just racing for the win?
Well, might see some more aggression, honestly, from those drivers. I feel like you have nothing really to lose at that point, you gotta know. So just leave all risk out the window and just go after it.
So there'll be a lot of teamwork out there. Leading the points in the team point standings is JRM. We saw them finish 1-2 last week. I just had it loaded up, and here we go. SHR, they have 170 points after Daytona. 29 points behind is the SHR crew, and third place is the Colleague Cars. They're 58 off the lead. Then you got JD Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing, and Penske guys rounding out the full field of 6 teams. In the regular point standings, of course, we've only had one race. So who won last week? It was Nobes. And he's your point leader. Masopes is second. Electric Days is third. Fourth is McCard, followed by Carmen, also known as Freedom. Then comes Sikkim Wolffest. See, the font's difficult, but I think it says Wolf. I don't know what it says. Oh, U of L fan. See, it's just really blurred. Then you got Killer, Hendrick, and I2Ball Stickum running out the top 10. But a lot's going to change. You know, it's the first race, so the point standings is going to flip-flop a lot. Again, this is a wild card race. There are guys who are particularly good here, but even if you're not that good here, you stick in the draft, and there's some guys that are going to be able to hang around.
And some shockers from qualifying as they just got finished with qualifying. Dank is starting on pole tonight. Electric starting P2, and Team Air Jordan, who is one of my drivers who has tried to tell me all week that he's going to be rusty, he has no confidence, he's going to be starting P3. So a very surprising top three. Also, something to make note of in tonight's race, the three drivers that I had mentioned earlier about hot seating, very, very competitive drivers. Hot seats tonight from the Cup Series will be Always Joker, YB Beta, and my driver Fire Slayer.
Yeah, those are all very competitive here. Places like Auto Club Michigan, these guys are always very, very fast. And just last night, both Joker and Fire Slayer were in a different league race, and they both finished 1-2 in a very similar getup. We were at Kansas, so a mile and a half, but they were fast there. So, yeah, we should be getting in there momentarily. You said qualifying is over, so it's 8:49 on the Eastern Seaboard. And by the way, the front row, Dank and Electric, are both driving for the JGR team owned by Captain Dead Dad.
Yeah, I mean, and that's definitely a great start. I mean, for the SHR guys, and I mean to be able to control both lines off the start of the race is going to be huge for them. But I mean, like we've mentioned previously, track position is going to be huge, and I mean, I think we're going to see how important qualifying is just by this. I mean, qualifying in a 27-man field, you see some of the drivers. I believe Joker and YB both missed qualifying, so they'll be starting in the back. And I mean, they're gonna make their way up front. They are, but I don't think it's gonna happen like at the snap of a finger in stage one. I mean, these guys are gonna have to work for it. It's a very talented field. So qualifying could be a big indicator on how this race is gonna go.
Definitely where you start is going to matter here. It is difficult to come up through the field, although not impossible. And in anything you guys got about pitch strategy, I don't know if in either the first two stages or just for the final stage.
I'll be 100% honest. Xfinity wise, I really don't know how many laps you get for fuel. I mean, I would assume that stage 3 is like a guarantee that you're going to have to pit. Stage 1 and 2, I'm really not sure about. We didn't have to have pit stops last week at Daytona, but potentially could see some green flag pit stops early on. But before we do that, I'm going to do the same thing we did last week, and I'm going last again because I got it right last week. Brink, who's your pick to win?
Well, I'm gonna say always Joker is gonna pull it out here on his hot seat.
That's a very good pick. Colts boy, who you got?
Well, a lot of fast drivers in the field today, but I want to take another hot seat. I want to take YB Better from worst to first.
That's another good pick. And I'm not going to lie, there's a big part of me that wants to say the King of Auto Club, Nobes, is going to go back-to-back, but I don't know if he goes back-to-back with the competition he has. I'm going with a shot in the dark. Give me always Marnes to win.
All right,
Also, we are good to join.
Okay.
All right.
Get in there myself. I know you got the stream up there, shake and bake.
Yeah, and I'm not that's not a biased pick either. I'm not picking my driver to win just because he's my driver. Marner is a very fast driver. He ran in Cup last season. I was actually teammates with him. A guy I'm very confident in that he can get the job done. But we'll see. Got a long race, 75 laps tonight.
75 laps. Okay, I overestimated a tad with 90, but 75 laps. It will go fast. These guys are running like 40-second laps, give or take. And if there's any yellows, which you never know, there might be manual yellows, as you are. Remember from last week, if there's a couple of guys that wreck, but the game doesn't call the yellow, we will have our own yellow flag. There you go. Top 2 JGR cars, Dank Emotions and Electric Days, followed by the number 39 of Team Air Jordan.
Yeah, very interesting to see the two teammates beating doors coming to the flag there. But Dank is going to be able to hold out in front, but Electric on the high side going to get a better run off, and those two are still side by side as we head down into 3.
Toyotas could be very lonely here in the Xfinity Series. You got the front 2. And Electric's going to hold on to that second place, but the 38 here, Air Jordan's got some competition from the Real Gumpusa. I'm saying that totally wrong. He's going to make a move under Electric as he gets a push from the 6 car of Hendrick 9 Chase. And that's going to push the 90 up into second, but maybe falling back as the 93 now, making a lot of moves.
Yeah, and you saw just getting out of line that one straightaway for Electric. He goes from battling for the lead to about 8th place. So that shows you right there how important draft is going to be at this track.
And these guys are all staying pretty low. One guy gets down low. I think it was the 92. But the 7 of Masopes also holding low. And Electric fell all the way from second to behind Masopes. Now Hendrick pushing the 90. That's going to be not the best idea with no help behind them. They're going to start losing more ground if these guys stay in the line at the bottom. Always Marge touching the grass. Now Masopes touching the grass. That's going to split things up a little bit. Electric Days trying to make some moves as those guys slipped up in front of him.
Yeah, and just by looking at Nobe's stream to give us a lap counter, we have 15 laps to go in this stage, and Nobe still has 17 laps of fuel, so it doesn't look like we're going to have green flag pit stops in stage 1.
And probably not in stage 2, I would assume either, but stage 3, definitely probably a thing. The number 1, that's Nobes. He's getting caught 4 wide here back in the pack in the middle of the field. That's last week's winner. He's got the 54 below him, the 44 above him.
He got absolutely destroyed from behind in turn 1. I wasn't able to see who that was, but somebody just absolutely used him as a brake entering the corner. And you see up front, the 18, he's going to wash up wide. He's going to hit the 93. And Team Air Jordan, the 38, he has now taken the lead.
And they're 3 wide coming out of turn 2.
Somebody in the wall. They are swerving.
They're hitting the wall, yeah. They were 3 wide coming out of
straightaway. And there's the big one.
Everybody's wrecking.
There's the big one.
Yeah.
Big wreck here as the pack was all jumbled up and a couple of guys up front bounced off the wall, and there was really nowhere for a lot of these guys to go.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a game caution. But yeah, there wasn't much people could do there. A lot of people caught up in that wreck. we see one person saying in Discord, "I got wrecked." Yeah, we noticed that one.
When 9 guys wreck, it's really only 1 guy maybe who started it. So there's 8 guys going, "I got wrecked."
Yeah. And another person we also did not mention is we do have another kind of a hot seat situation here for the 94 car, Dalator. He is a free agent, but he is racing tonight. It'll be interesting to see what he can do in his return. He really hasn't been on the game in quite a while, but he is, like I said, he's making his return. It'll be interesting to see how he does tonight.
Looks like he stayed out, and he's going to have a front row start here at the restart.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, he had to have either stayed out or I don't know if
Gotten 2.
he took 2, and I'm not sure. I'm hoping the 38 took 4 tires there as the leader. I mean, but it'll be interesting to see as we come to the line. There will be 10 laps left in this stage, coming to 9 to go.
Now, the 94, he's getting a favor here. It looked like he wanted to back off and give the lead to Always Martins, but he couldn't quite get down, and then the 38 let him in, and now here comes Dank and Electric on the bottom side. They're 2 by 2 behind the leader, and the bottom line is going to get the momentum.
Yeah.
You see him as Soaps and the 9 door-to-door back there. Those guys are teammates. And here's the 92 underneath Electric.
9 definitely looks like he was running some practice laps. They forgot to put the sponsor on the car before the race.
Yeah, I saw that on the 21, too. Big Jim in the 92 for SHR made a big move, got under Electric, trying to arc in the corner, but here comes Mason Pope just below him to give him a battle, but the draft is in front of the 92 with those 2 lead cars, but Mason gets a push from the 93.
Yes, look at these guys going 4 wide here in the middle of the field, but from what I'm seeing, it definitely looks like the 92 took 2 tires, and it's not really panning out for him, or the 94 rather.
Yeah, no, he's falling back to midfield here after starting in second place on the outside of the front row. But Big Jim, he made a bunch of moves. He's up into third behind Dank and the 93 car, driven by Always Martins. Oh, he's 93. I confused him for the 39 earlier. So Always Martins is in the 93. Carmen in the 10 now going below Electric, but yielded. That gives Electric back his top 5. But Electric's now leading the rest of the field as the front 4 is breaking. We got a car upside down in the back. A yellow one looked like the 19.
Yeah, a big one. It looks like, the 19 of Slick NASCAR got the worst of it. As, again, that'll be another game caution. And that'll kind of make things interesting, too, because we don't have that many laps left in this stage. I think if you're up front, I mean, this is going to be a tough pit call because you don't have that many laps on your tires. But I mean, tires do mean a lot here, so it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of different pit calls here, and it wouldn't shock me if we saw a little bit more chaos right before we finish this first stage.
Kenny LaFleur in the 11 and Clay the Monkey were the other 2 cars involved. Not sure how it started, whose fault it was, but 3 cars involved, and these guys are going to pit here under yellow because fresh tires are going to matter even after 1 lap or 2 laps. It's going to be all the difference to have 4 fresh tires at the restart, which we have right here.
Yeah, see, a lot of people stay out and a lot of people that pitted. So this should be interesting. It's going to be, I mean, you saw Marner. He was battling, Always Mars. He's battling for the lead. He's going to restart somewhere middle of the pack, almost, it looks like about 14th.
So Mason and Carmen, they're going to lead the pack, but here comes YB Beta in third, and Nobes moved up to 4th. So pitch strategy already at play here with 2 yellows in the first stage. YB Beta is going to keep that bottom line and try to make a move off the straightaway, but Mason's trying to throw the block up high. Carmen's got the run, 3 wide off of 2, and Mason is stuck in the middle, trying to get some help from a teammate, but a little too late as Carmen's going to get the lead here entering turn number 3. YB Beta, Carmen comes down on the 36, going to send him into the apron. So far, we're okay.
Yeah, really aggressive move there by the 10 car. Carmen trying to make sure he pinched off the 36 so he couldn't get a good entry. And he's able to do it. I mean, a little bit of contact needed to do it, but now he's in the grass, and he's just going to hand the lead up.
And that's going to give the 36 the run.
Oh, freedom. Again, it just a week 2 where we're seeing him have a very good run and just a mental mistake taking himself out of position. Now he's getting sent 3 wide. He's got YB on his outside, and I believe that is small in the 0.
That is small NASCAR now. 3 wide again. 3 different cars, but 3 wide again down the back straightaway. This time YB Beta is stuck on the outside, and small NASCAR fan is going to get the lead in front of another 3 wide troop. There's the 15. And filling in for him down low. And Dank's trying to force it down low, and he can't. The 15's got to move up. Hits the 18, bounces off, and calamity ensues down the front straightaway.
Another big one.
A huge one. All but about 7 cars were involved in that wreck.
Wow.
Yeah, and that'll probably end the stage. That will end stage 1. So, a very questionable move there by the 10 car. I guess the spotter just was not talking to him. He goes down, absolutely destroys the 15 of Go Boom, who we know, or I'm going to say we know, but a lot of you all should know, a guy that's not going to take very kindly to that. So if that 15 and the 10 get around each other again, I think we're going to see some more fireworks But, I mean, just absolutely destroyed half the field there with that questionable move by the 10 car.
18. It was Dank who was below the 15. The ten came down. Here's what I saw. The 18 went below the 15 out of 4. The 15, maybe unaware that he was going to be there, tried to hit the apron as well, and then they bounced off. The 10 was coming down on his own move, and they collided.
Yeah, not sure, but that is going to end the first stage, and we're about to go green for stage 2, as just like we started, Dank leading the field to the line.
And small NASCAR fan who won the stage is going to start in second. YB Bet is in third.
Yeah, and for this stage, it's going to be 17 laps. So, again, they're going to be good on fuel if there's not a caution. But from the way the action has gone so far, there's no indications that we're not going to get a caution here in stage 2.
Guys are already trying to find their little bit of space. It looked like Carmen wanted to get below the 0 of small NASCAR out of turn number 2. But they got the run now. 4 cars kind of pushing the charge on the high line. But Dank is going to lead them through the bottom of the corner. But here comes small NASCAR, not to be forgotten, staying high and got the run. YB Betta maybe had space to go between them, but small NASCAR is going to close the door, put the 36 back down on the low side.
Yeah, and you see this almost looks like Daytona, just having 2 lines, bumper to bumper, going down these straightaways. And the 18 misses the bottom badly, and that's going to open the door for the 36, YB. He's going to peek his nose under, and are we going to be 3 wide on exit? No. Dank is able to clear the 0.
I think the 18 had a little bit of help into the corner. I think he got pushed, which probably affected his speed going in. But, yeah, he's still going to lead that bottom line. And Electric is being kind of patient, although I think it looked like the 20 almost got loose, and it backed up the field, and somebody else now is spinning through the grass.
Yeah, car in the grass. Not sure who that is. Try and figure out real quick.
It's teammate Jordan.
Definitely trying to force the issue under Dank for the lead. Going down on the apron, but can't quite get to him by turn number 1. It's going to put McCard up high to try to make his own move. Now they're 3 wide in the middle of 1 and 2. McCard seemingly has the run here, then an unsponsored number 9 car with small NASCAR in tow. Dank tried to close the door, and he closed more than the door, put the 0 into the wall. Some questionable moves here out of the JGR driver.
Yeah, seeing a lot of aggression up at the front, but I mean, it's kind of something that we go back to that we talked about before the race, how important track position is, and these guys are really fighting to keep every spot they can get.
Now Electric's losing a few more spots as Nobes gets underneath them. Someone we haven't mentioned yet, the 8 driver, he's coming up just behind Electric.
Who do we have in the 8?
I just went through. It's Mayhem in his first race back. His first official league race back after a 24-plus month hiatus from the game itself, not just HPL.
Yeah, very strong showing for him in the return. As you see up front, McCard doing a good job maintaining the lead. YB definitely trying to peek his nose under. I don't think YB wants to run in second place. I think he's a guy that wants to get out front. And at the end of the... so they both go through the grass a little bit there. Just throwing up dust clouds behind him. And the 10... Carmen, he's going to look on the outside of YB for second place.
And Nobes coming back and forth. Dank back to 5th. Their leader is McCard. Two drivers in the top 5 driving for JGR. Their team point leader. And not far behind is their team captain and Miss Soaps. A couple of guys getting some contact entering turn 3 behind them. But they're okay.
As YB's going to move the 10 up the track.
Yeah, he tried to stick it, but he just ran out of room, and there goes Slick Sickum down, geting knocked through the infield, and there's another car around.
Yeah, huge crash in the back, and I'm not going to lie, some of these I feel like they can be avoided, but I think just instead of, having their stage be done, they're kind of hooking it back up the track to make sure everybody else is coming with them.
Yeah, fumes aren't just in the gasoline; they are definitely in these guys' heads. Tempers are flaring. A big lack of patience definitely out there.
And you see Small, he's involved in it again. Killer, he's involved in that accident. A guy we haven't really talked about too much tonight. Brody looks like he was involved in it. As it looks like we had one person who was quick. And Gappa Musa looked like he got on pit road before the caution happened. And he probably should be, I would imagine, your new leader.
in the front row.
He's
Mr.
on the front
Brody.
row, the 39.
Yeah, Brody and the real gap, he's up there, 1 and 2.
Yeah, very
See
interesting.
how long they can last with YB Better right behind him and McCard. McCard trying to go high. Going to make it 3 wide entering turn number 1, but doesn't have the momentum here as they shift up through the gears. YB Betta's got the momentum on the bottom side. The 90's going to create a middle lane. Now they're 4 wide as McCard goes high. Brody bouncing off.
Oh, he's spinning.
Yeah, there's another
Not
wreck.
even a half a lap, and we are already all around. 4 wide. They ended up 4 wide when the 90
Somebody's
pushed it into the
flipping
middle.
down the backstretch.
Oh, wow. Absolute pandemonium here.
Definite pandemonium. But like we said, this race goes quick, and these guys know they got to be up front. Track position is that important. It is breeding the aggression that we're seeing. And a lot of these guys, they know they're fast. There's barely a back marker, so to speak, in this field. They all think they deserve to be up front.
Yeah, and I mean, like right there, personal opinion, I think the 90 was just a little aggressive. The 39 definitely being on older tires is at a disadvantage, but I feel like that's a move that you don't necessarily have to make in one corner, especially on a restart. That's a move that could have been made maybe in turn 3 and 4, and you'd have been fine, but instead just felt like he had to go right then and there, and that kind of caused a big one.
Well, guess who's back up front? YB Betta and Dank leading the field here, 1 and 2.
Yeah,
That's
and
the 90 in 3rd, and look who's up in 4th. Always Marnes.
looking for a guy we haven't.
No, that's free. I'm sorry, that's Fire Slayer. I misread the glare off the hood. I thought it was white, but that's Fire Slayer in the 74 who's made it up to 4th.
Looking for a guy we haven't even talked about. Maybe he's not racing. Maybe he's just doing race control and changed his mind. But yeah, it doesn't even look like Always Joker is racing.
So my pick's not even in the field. I switched to Slayer then. I'm still taking the hot seat. Slayer's going to win this race.
Well, we're riding on board with him. Yeah, I'm not sure. He voted in to race and just didn't show up. But up front, it looks like YB is pulling off and pulling away as he has picked up a huge gap so far.
The more they stay side by side, the better for him at this point. But now that the 18 of Dank drops down in the draft, they might be able to close up. And there he is in the turn 1.
Yeah, and the 18 sent it in there. Fire Slayer up on the high side trying to make it
3
work.
wide again.
The
Almost.
car just looked a little tight. Slayer was not able to get it to rotate like he wanted to, but he is going to get a good run down the backstretch, give the 16 a little bit of a shove.
Dank has been not clear, I want to say, at least 3 or 4 times. And that time he didn't put the white car here into the wall. That's the 16. But he almost did. And there goes the 16 on by now.
Yeah, just
That's
to
U of
kind
L
of
fan.
get. Oh, there's a big one.
Oh,
Oh,
big
Dalator's
crash.
in the wall.
Oh,
McCard's
man.
involved. Slick's involved. Mayhem's involved. Oh, big wreck.
Oh,
Clay's
man.
Now that one
involved.
started in the middle. I didn't see how it started. But
Yeah,
Mayhem's
I was trying to give the people at home a different point of view and just kind of ride with somebody in the middle of the pack, so I rode on board with Mayhem, and as soon as I did, just a big one down the front stretch. But with that caution, that'll actually be the end of Stage 2. So
It's going by fast.
YB is your Stage 2 winner, and I'm not even going to say we're going to have green flag pit stops in Stage 3 because I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters how many laps we got. If we're not having green flag pit stops, these guys just cannot keep it straight here. So it looks like Stage 3 will be about 37 laps. How many of those will be green? Probably not many, but, we can be optimistic.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we get a bunch of green flag laps here. Mayhem is caught up to 6th place, by the way. But, yeah, look who's in 2nd, Mr. Fireslayer, Mr. Cup himself. He started near the back of the field here tonight, too.
We'll ride on board with him. So he's able to get a very good restart on the high side, and he's got about a half a car length on the 36, but 36 is going to have the advantage having the inside lane here.
And a push from the 16 U of L fan. No push coming to Fireslayer just yet, anyway. But YB Betta's going to move up because he knows down the back straightaway the top line is probably going to get more momentum. That's going to leave U of L and Dank down low. A little contact behind Fireslayer, getting him loose off the corner. But sure enough, then there goes YB Betta right back down to the bottom. Trying to lead both lines through their respective part of the track. That's going to keep him out in front if he does it right.
Yeah.
Very difficult task, though. Nobes cutting off Mayhem coming down the front straightaway. I thought they might have had another wreck there. Fire Slayer trying to grab a little bit of a side draft off of UL. There goes YB Beta, but the run coming from Fire Slayer, who could have forced it in the middle, and he's gonna because YB Beta gets run up, and we're wrecking in turn number 1 behind the leaders.
Wait a minute, let me pretend to be surprised. Yeah, Slick. It looks like Slick in the 19 has just been involved in every accident there's been tonight. I feel like every time we pan back to see who's involved, I see the 19 crunched up just a little bit more. Just not the showing he wants, but I mean, from what I've seen, I don't think I've seen him cause any of them. He's just the wrong place, wrong time, and it's just been a very reoccurring theme.
Reports through the radios have been that somebody just simply lost it on the apron. Quote was from one of the drivers, losing it on the apron in 2025. Crazy. So let's see what the pitch strategy looks like after, barely a lap we went green?
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of saves it from being fuel saving as well, because it looks like they would have been very, very close if they would have went the full distance, but now after the next 4 cautions we get, they should be good to go to the end.
Well, Gapo Moose is going to lead him with Clay the Monkey in second. And then look at that, Dalator, the 94, really pushing the issue there on the apron, pushing the 90 up the track.
Wow.
I don't know how you're going to get in a team racing that way, but U of L is going to take advantage, and Carmen trying to make a move underneath as well, but Dalator throws the block, and that's going to hit across the 10's nose and puts him up in the 90.
And man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm seeing that one car up here. He's battling for 4th now, and it's making me regret not picking him. They call him the King of Auto Club for a reason. Nobes is always up here in stage 3, and he's having a good showing. Yeah.
And Carmen just trying to get in line, and no one wants to let him in, or he can't find the move. Nobes going to make a move, try to make a move, but that's going to be Sickum now, going to get the bottom lane below the 1. Doesn't quite clear him, but middle of the corner. Now Dalator is going to pull away after some of these cars get some contact. You know who's getting lost in this shuffle, by the way, is Fire Slayer. Trying to keep that high side, trying to stay safe. I've been watching the 90 kind of this whole restart as he started second. He's trying to get back down through the bottom. Carmen now, it's going to be close. He almost cuts the 90 off, but it's going to be clean for now.
Yeah, and if these guys in the back don't get this sorted out, these front 3, maybe 4, are trying to kind of just line up and pull away and kind of make this a race between them. As you see, I mean, I think that's 7th place. We're 3 wide for 3 rows.
Dalator is not giving an inch out there in that Sunoco 94 car. As UOL fans not going to have to yield the bottom to him. But Nobes is going to push him up top, and the 38 kind of stuck now on the bottom.
Yeah, very impressive showing so far by the 38. As he's going to try and stick his
nose. He's going to go 3 wide.
Poor
Carmen, he's got a fast enough car to be up front, but he keeps getting rung up here, top or bottom.
3 wide for the lead now as the 38 underneath, and he's got his teammate Fire behind him pushing him.
Carmen finally got in line, had to do it behind those guys. Dalator now stuck in the middle in that 94 car. Now Fire Slayer's got 2nd place, but who's in front? That 38 car.
Yeah, Team Air Jordan do a great job so far. He's able to take the lead, his teammate behind him, and here comes that purple and green car of YB. He's moving his way back to the front.
Yeah, once that 36 car got near the front, it's been hard to get rid of him. But yeah. Dalator tried.
Yeah.
38 gets a bump by Fire Slayer off a turn before. Got a little bit out of shape, but they're still in line. Dalator's trying to catch back up here, and he's going to have a little bit of momentum entering the corner. Doesn't go bottom. Fire Slayer's going to keep it up high a lane. That might give the 94 a little bit of room, but no, he's going to shut the door. And Team Air Jordan. Now, these guys, I'm assuming they're going to work well together because they are working together. And the 74 is not in a rush. He wants to push that car in front, make it a 2-car race.
Yeah, and these guys are probably in the same party, communicating. I mean, Fire's down here in a hot seat. Team Air Jordan looking to try and win and kind of clinch a spot in the playoffs potentially. I think Fire's going to work well with him until the end. I mean, I don't see Fire not going for the win. He's the type of guy that any race he's in, it doesn't matter if he's racing in a potato sack, he's going to want to win it.
Now McCard, followed by U of L fan, is going to make an attempt here for third. And the less these guys figure out third on back, the more these two guys are going to pull away. Dalator almost in the wall off of 2, but he holds it off, and U of L fan is going to survive that as well.
Yeah, and you see finally towards like the middle of the field, everybody's kind of singling out. And I mean, with this probably is pretty darn close to our longest green flag run of the race so far.
So far.
So, I mean, the guys, maybe it just took them 2.5 stages to figure it out, but I mean, so far in stage 3, everything's looking good, but these front 2 are doing a really, really, really good job. And they're trying to work together to pull away, and Dalator, he's way up the racetrack. I don't know if him and YB made a little bit of contact entering one, but he's going to have a huge arc. He might be able to get a decent run down the backstretch.
It looked like he assumed the 9 would go lower, but he didn't realize the 9 had YB below him. But yeah, now McCard, he's in third. You got the 36 pushing from behind as he catches back up. And that might turn into a 5, 6, 7 car field here as Dalator gets back to 7th. And that small NASCAR fan, I believe, or is that Big Jim in 8th?
I'm not sure, but let's take a little bit of a different approach. I'm going to go back to somebody in the middle of the field. We're going to ride along with Go Boom here. And
that was Big Jim.
Oh, they are four wide, almost 5 wide, entering 1. And this looks like it's a battle for about 10th place. As these guys are just using each other. Go Boom's going to use the 4-up. Wow, these guys are going at it.
Big Jim all by himself. It's kind of funny. He's got the leaders ahead of him. He's almost catching that draft. And the guys behind him are just racing hard, and he's losing them.
Yeah, I mean, and Jim's got a guy behind him, Hendrick 9, who, I mean, if he gets to him, he's going to push him, and he's going to do the best he can to get him back up to that front group. But right now, I think he almost kind of needs that front group to race a little bit if if either one of them wants to get back in it.
Yeah, it looks like the front group is pulling away because they got in line for a while there. They weren't side by side.
Yeah, it looks like
although
that's what they're doing.
Dalator's got a little trouble off the corner here.
Yeah, Dalator really got loose. And if he's not careful being that last car in the draft, it's very, very easy to lose it.
You mentioned that on the longer runs, these guys were going to get loose, and this is so far one of the longest runs. And maybe these guys aren't quite sure how their setups have been reacting because they haven't enough time to test them out.
Well, I mean, if I'm one of the crew chiefs or drivers in this situation, we haven't had a long green flag run. I'm really loosening the car up so it runs good for 4 or 5 laps because that's all they've had to do. And I have a feeling that's what a couple of them have done. And now that we're running like about lap 7 or 8 of this green flag run, the cars probably are getting a little loose.
Well, the 38 is still leading away. Trying to split those lanes up. You got Fire Slayer down low. He's pushing McCard now as McCard's gone around for 2nd place. And a little bit of side-by-side might be...
We have trouble.
We got cars around.
Big Jim got loose. He went down on the apron, and it's a big one in the back, and that's going to bring out another caution. Nobes is involved as he tried to save it.
Hendrick helped him out on that.
Yeah, it looked like Big Jim got loose, started to spin, and Hendrick was kind of already committed to the bottom line, and at that point, there really wasn't much he could do.
So another guy getting loose on the apron in 2025. It may or may not have been the original quoter.
Wouldn't that be something?
At least these guys are entertaining, right? I mean, not for nothing.
Listen, I said that last week. I don't care that I drove in the Cup Series last season. The Xfinity Series was easily the most entertaining series that we had all year.
Well, your pole sitter's all the way in the back of the field now.
Yeah, I think he was involved in some of that, and looks like Air Jordan's going to maintain the lead through the pit stops.
Air Jordan and McCard. And McCard probably a little more patient than the guys that we've seen in the front row so far tonight. U of L fan, going to push him. Fire Slayer thought he might have had to move up high, but nothing doing. Carmen, there he is in that 10, back into 5th, and YB Betta in 6th. Dalator 7th. 8th is Masopes.
Yeah, and this puts us at another very interesting spot in the race because as we go green, we have 24 laps to go. We're coming to 23. You get about 19 laps of fuel. So, I mean, potentially with a very, very small chance of it actually happening where we do have green flag pit stops, you could potentially see no tires, 2 tires, I would, if you're going to split it, you'd have to probably come pretty early to do it. But even then,
Oh,
the draft's going to be too much to overcome that if you're going to take 4.
had a couple of cars I thought jet out of the line and almost hit the wall, but I guess they're okay. But yeah, Team Air Jordan and U of L fan now starting a battle. The 38's got some great arc off the corner, and he keeps that momentum. Looks like he's going to slap the wall, but he gets as close as you can. Dalator touches the wall before entering turn number 3 as he gets to the rear bumper of Fire Slayer in that 74 car.
Yeah, for a guy who spoke down on himself as much as he did, Team Air Jordan is doing a great job. Been very impressed with him so far throughout this race. But you see, I mean, right now, it looks like he's kind of in the wrong line as that inside line is really stacking up, and they're going to get a lot of momentum down the straightaways.
You know who just made a giant arc into the corner here was the 36 of YB Beta. He caught up, looked like a second and a half.
Air
Now
Jordan
the
into
38
the
does
wall.
touch the wall, and that's going to give him, it's going to lose him a lot of spots.
Yeah,
It's going to give him Agita.
lose a ton of time.
Ooh, Dalator tried to go low, but the 74 was there, and that sends the Sunoco car back up the track.
Yeah,
Not
and
the fault of that black 74, but the 94 was sent up.
U of L fan, he's going to now take control of the lead, and he's got McCard right behind him. And, I mean, McCard's been up front quite a bit this race, but it's been a very quiet race for him, if that makes sense. He hasn't necessarily, like, put himself out front leading any laps, but I feel like we've seen that underfunded-looking car quite a bit.
You know, coming up through the field here, as we see by Dalator, is the 15 of Go Booms and then the 7 of Masopes. And then Nobes is just behind them. So I hope this top 5 or 6 is not comfortable, because they shouldn't be. Here comes the Hendrick boys. Here comes the JGR boys. I say Hendrick, I meant Junior, but we all know.
Yeah, and, I mean, you're starting to see it again. It looks like we're getting a front pack. And, I mean, the second group of it, they're doing a better job of trying to maintain it. But, I mean, it looks like the field's pretty much split in half. Like we got 2 different races going on.
Yeah, definitely. But the fast guys up front here, and they've been working mostly patiently, although as I say that, a couple of guys are wiggling down the front straightaway. Go Boom is definitely in a hurry to get back to the front. We are running out of laps. If you have a lap counter for us in a second, that'd be great. But Fire Slayer and him are side by side as they approach the 10 of Carmen. And the 16 of U of L trying to make a move on McCard. Maybe got a little loose off of turn 4. YB Beta now trying to lead third place on back to this back bumper.
Yeah, and this is one I'm going to want to stay tuned in on. But as they cross the line, we got 19 laps to go. We mentioned it earlier. The 15 of Go Boom, he got kind of used up a little bit by the 10. He's almost back to the 10 for the first time. So it's going to be interesting to see how he races around him, because he's known to be a fairly aggressive driver, and he's going to try and get his get back.
And you can definitely see the difference in the lines as the 36 is trying to make something happen, taking a lower entry. But McCard can take his normal entry, and even with nobody in front of him to pull off a draft, he has the better momentum through the corner.
Yeah, and this front pack's definitely spreading out now. It looks like that is Nobes. It looks like we have about a 7-car breakaway, and then Nobes is just trying to barely hang on to the back of Masopes.
Yes, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th are in their own line behind him.
Yeah, this is interesting. The more they split apart, the more likely we are to have a long green flag run, and the more likely we are to have green flag pit stops.
And Go Booms now gets around the 74. He's going to take Masopes on with him. And sitting ahead of him now is that number 10, driven by Carmen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how patient Go Boom is here with the 10 car.
YB Bet is still trying to make a move. He's going to get something to go in here as he gets below the 16. But off the corners, what's going to matter and where McCard goes, and he's going to end up back high. The 36 thought he had space, but he bounces off the rear and almost takes out the 15.
That's going to eliminate any potential fireworks I thought we were going to see, as the 15's just able to go right around the 10. And the 10's going to try. Yeah, he's going to try and get in line potentially behind the 7. Or no, he's going to stay up top, but they're going to go down to the bottom and pull that 7 car. And if Carmen can, he's going to get in right in front of Fire Slayer. He is. And he's only going to lose 2 positions from that.
Great driving by that 9 car, although it's helping that U of L fans not really, making any threats, making any bold moves here. But YB Beta, he's going to be trying once he gets back up there. And just behind him now it's the 15. And here's Miss Soaps back up to the top 5. So don't be comfortable up here.
Yeah, and just kind of looking on board on Nobe's stream to maintain a lap counter. I'm watching him down the backstretch. He's getting a sniff of that draft right now. So he's doing everything he can to try and catch up to that front pack. And I think 1 or 2 more laps and maybe a mistake or two out of the back guys, he might be able to get there.
Here comes Lamar. Now the 16 wants to make a move, and he might have some help. This is what YB Beta tried a few laps ago to no avail. And this time it looks like Lamar's going to get hung out. They make contact off the corner, but that's going to give the run to the 36. Does he split the middle? He does not. McCard's going to shut the door. But the 36 and maybe the 15 might end up past the 16 here. U of L actually holds his own on the bottom now, gets some help from the 15.
Yeah, and the 15 being aggressive, trying to stay underneath YB. He's going to get pretty much to his door, and YB's going to be in the wrong lane at this point now. So you see Go Boom moving up to P3, or battling still. He is going to be able to get around the 36, and the 36 is going to lose another spot to the 7 of Masopes. He's going to battle back on the outside of him, though.
And lurking, that 74 Fire Slayer, the 1 of Nobes, those guys are at the tail end of this pack. Just like you said, they're just conserving fuel. If they go one more lap, that's that much less fuel they have to put in their car. If there are green flag stops here coming up.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. And, I mean, I'm really shocked that Nobes was able to catch this front pack. Because, yes, there's been a little bit of battling here and there, but it's not been like hard racing where you would think that 7 guys working together on the straightaways shouldn't be able to pull away from one. But an impressive drive by Nobes to pull back up to this front pack as it's now an 8-car breakaway.
Well, like you said, the king of Auto Club, right? An 8-car breakaway that has like a 3-second lead.
Yeah, the second pack is just kind of in a world of their own right now, being led right now by the 21 of Sikkim.
Now Fire Slayer looks like he's trying to make a move or just stay to the bottom where he might be preferred.
And YB's going to send it in turn 3. He's going to be able to clear the 15. And now the front two.
He eventually cleared the 15. There goes Fire Slayer. That's why he was getting down low. He's pitting.
So is Team Air Jordan in 38. He's pitting as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of pit strategy they come up with here. And if they truly believe that it's going to be green flag pit stops this stage, if they get caught at the wrong time and there's a caution too early and they get stuck a lap down, that's pretty much the race for them.
See if McCard might be pitting here. He just maybe was loose off the corner. Yeah, YB Beta a lap ago, he just missed the corner and it looked like Go Boom paid for it there.
Yes, these guys have about 7 laps of fuel left, so it'll be interesting to see. 7 laps of fuel left as they come to the line. I'll give you a lap counter. I don't think anybody's going to be able to make it on fuel. Yeah, they have 11 laps to go.
But will they need tires? Will they have to take 2 tires? Will they be able to make it all the way there, too? Because that's just another couple seconds off on pit road if they got to change tires.
It's going to be very, very close if somebody decides to go no tires.
Now we're getting a little more side-by-side here. U of L now pushed up high. YB Beta back down low. He's definitely wanting that lead, wants to at least sniff at it. Masop's following, but that is Masop's teammate leading the race. And Go Boom now behind him.
As McCard's going to put a block on the 36 and get a really shallow entry. Looks like he's washing up the track a little bit. The 36 potentially going to look to the bottom. He is, but here comes the 16 of U of L fan on the outside. He's going to get a good run off the corner, and it looks like the 9's going to pit here, and it looks like the 7's going to go with him.
But not the 1, not their other teammate up here.
Yeah, Nobe's looking like he's potentially on a little bit of a different strategy, but if the 7 and the 9 can get a good entry.
Didn't get the warning, and he runs right into the back of the 9. Oh, he does pit. He did end up pitting. So all 3 Junior Motorsports guys are pitting.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. If they work well together off pit road exit, if these guys up front keep racing, that could be your new leaders.
Now, if you are any of these 4 cars that are still in the front of the race, you got to get in line because these guys are going to come off pit road and probably not have much of a draft. So this is the speed that you're going to be able to make up on it. Carmen now signaling he's going to come down and pit. But if these 3 cars can just stay in a line, they'll get that much more time on the guys who've already pit.
Yeah, most definitely. But, the guys up front are definitely going to have to start working together, or, I mean, those three junior motorsports guys are going to be gone.
The 10
Yeah.
stays out.
I think the 10 wanted to pit, but kind of decided against it under the fact that, I mean, nobody else was going to go. So, I mean, pitting by yourself, yes, it's not a super speedway, but, I mean, as we've mentioned multiple times, how important draft is, you kind of want to go with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Especially where guys are not taking tires or taking 4 tires. They're not going to be that fast off pit lane.
Yeah,
there won't be much of a difference.
The 3 junior motorsports guys able to get out right in front of the leader, as it looks like 3 of the 4 front 4 are going to signal to pit. Looks like YB, Carmen, and U of L fan are coming down pit lane, and it looks like, yeah, Go Boom's going to stay out.
All by himself, which, again, at this point, it's not that big of a deal. Probably best he stays out instead of getting wrecked on the pit road. Some of these guys get scared pitting in large numbers.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job. Go Boom is. I mean, he's kind of maintaining. I couldn't tell if he got loosened up. I think he's signaling to pit. So Go Boom is actually going to go ahead and pit here, and I'm going to ride along with the lead car out of this Junior Motorsports Club. It looks like that is the 7 of Masopes. He was the first one to get out. I'm interested to see where the 36 and the 16 come out compared to him.
I'm also trying to see if there's any guys who maybe pit later or earlier, and maybe they're going to sneak up front. Remember, Slayer is one of the first to go down, but he's right now, I think he's following cars that he's not on the same lap as right at the moment.
As here we come, down the back straightaway, YB is potentially still going to be ahead of him. Soap's definitely got a head of steam. YB's going to block low. Mason's going to kind of try and arc the corner, but YB's going to park it down on the bottom. So YB kind of resumes the lead out of this pit stop, depending on where Go Boom comes out.
But Mason keeps it real low off the corner. He's going to have a lot of momentum, but he's going to have to get right back in line as the 36 comes down in front of him. But we're going to have at least a 5-car draft here.
Yes, I'm not sure. I haven't seen the 15. I don't know where he came out. I don't know if he didn't take tires. It looks like that's him all the way in the backstretch. He might have just taken fuel, and he's going to try and see if he can make it on just tires.
That is true, and I think the 74, I don't know if he sped or took more tires, but he's back, way back to where he was.
Yeah, not 100%. As you saw Masopes try and make a move underneath the 36. It just wasn't able to work. Right now, it looks like your leader is the 93 of Marner, but he is on pit lane. As we come to the line, we have 5 laps to go.
So 5 laps, assuming he did not take tires, which was something I was kind of guessing would happen.
That is what happened.
It was just Boom that did that.
That is what happened. Go Boom took no tires. It's going to be very, very interesting to see if he can make it to the end. Like I said before, it's going to be very close. You have to do a very good job of managing your tires here. I'll be 100% honest. If 25 other people didn't think they could make it, odds are I don't know if he's going to.
I'm kind of rooting for him, so everybody else is wrong. Well, why be better? He's still leading that second group, so if something does happen to the 15, he's in the best position to sneak out that win. But here comes Masopes, Nobes, and McCard working together on the bottom side as they get below the U of L fan driving the 16 car. And that is Carmen still hanging around the leaders with as much issues as we've seen both happen to him and from him.
Yeah.
But he's still up there in the top 6.
Masopes is going to tuck in line now. I mean, this is a situation where I don't think even if you just push, you're going to catch the 15.
Oh, there goes U of L now pushing up underneath the 7, but that loses his momentum, so he's going to have to sneak in just behind.
So, yeah, I mean, I think even if you push, you're not going to catch the 7 here, or the 15, rather. I think this is a situation where you're almost hoping that the 15 can't make it, and you're racing for second, which will in turn be first. I mean, as we cross the line there's 3 laps to go, and from what I'm seeing, that looks like about a 5-second gap right now. So
Go Boom is pushing hard. I don't get the sense when I travel on the car that he's lifting earlier or trying to take care of the tires any more than you might. So yeah, I mean, it looks like he's on cruise control here as we get just less than a handful of laps to go.
Yeah, so we're coming to the line. It's going to be 2 laps to go, and I mean, maybe Go Boom knows something that the rest of them don't.
Or he planned ahead better than the rest of them.
Potentially.
2025, and we still don't know pitch strategy at Auto Club.
I mean, I'll be extremely impressed if he is able to make it on these tires, because just by looking at what Nobes was when he pitted, I didn't think he could run an extra 7 laps on those tires.
I mean, like I said, I'm still on the guy, and he's not lifting. He's not running high. He's not putting it in the neutral or anything crazy like that. They are catching him because they're obviously drafting, but it's not crazy. And here we are, 1 lap to go. The last time the HPL guys will drive at Auto Club in the Xfinity Series.
And you see Masopes, a power move getting pushed by the 16 down to the bottom. He's going to be able to clear for P2. And now, if you're Masopes, you're just kind of sitting there. The only way you're catching the 15 is if he has an issue. You're kind of praying that a tire goes down going into 3 here.
With Go Boom way out in front, we're going to watch the second place battle as Masopes and YB Bennett going to make contact down the back straightaway. 3 wide for 4th just behind them. Masopes trying to throw the block to the 36, who's going to push him up high. Lamar in the 16 got to make a run on the high side. 3 wide. This is for second place as Go Boom crosses for the win. But Lamar in the 16 looks like he sneaked out that second place finish.
He did. What a move by the 16 on the high side. And what a pit call by the 15 of Go Boom. I mean, I did not expect that to work at all. He made it work. Go Boom, your race winner. U of L fan P2. Masopes P3. YB Beta P4. Carmen in 5th. The King of Auto Club Nobes gets 6th. McCard able to get 7th. Fire Slayer in 8th. Sikkim going to get 9th. And Small NASCAR fans going to round out your top 10.
What a race we had here. Definitely, the pitch strategy guys, this was a race for you. But we had a lot of close battles, and that race for second place at the end there for the podium was quite exhilarating.
Yeah, I mean, a very, very impressive performance there by Go Boom. Impressive pitch strategy. An impressive move by U of L fan on that last lap. And he was able to clear on the high side. I mean, great racing there at the end. And, I mean, finally, at the very end, we finally got green flag pit stops. We got that long green flag run.
Now, don't forget, tomorrow night, as we get the winners in here for their post-race interviews, tomorrow night we will be back here at Auto Club in the Cup cars, as these guys will go back at it for the last time ever on NASCAR Heat 5 in the HPL Series at Auto Club. Might be the last time at Auto Club ever.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and try and get the top 3 in here. I believe I have all 3 of them added as a friend, so I should be able to get them all in one swipe. Mason's famous appearing offline, so you'll have to give me a second on him.
Don't forget to like the page, hit subscribe, get that little bell on, because we are generally racing 8:30 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. But, you never know when other things are going to happen. Football games, obviously, are huge here. So, a lot of entertaining stuff. And I think the broadcast, we've done a pretty good job. So, if you like it, then like it. Lamar Mason is in here. I don't know if Go Boom has entered yet. But we will start with the third place finisher, Mr. Mason Pope. Tell us about your race today. Good job there getting up back towards the front.
Yeah, just no stage points at all because you just keep getting wrecked over and over. But we qualified decent, ran up front in the beginning, and then got pushed all the way back there and somehow was able to be there at the end of the race. Sucks we were racing for second, the 15 car. Really good strategy. He ran a good race today and deserved to win that race. So good on him, and yeah, it was an interesting race, right?
It definitely was. We enjoyed watching. It was kind of fun guessing what you guys were even up to. But Shake, Colts, what do you got for our bronze medalist?
Go ahead, Colts.
I just want to say, one question I have is, after getting thrown to the back a little bit, how do you keep yourself composed to get back up to the front and keep your emotions in check?
You just remember you're better than everybody else in front of you, and you can get by them.
Fair enough.
And I'm just gonna throw this out there too. I'm not sorry to interject, but the goal coming into this week, just like it is each and every week, is to finish ahead of every single SHR car, and we were able to do that on the last lap. So that's a good check.
Well, I mean, I don't really have a question because I mean they kind of touched on everything. Congratulations on the third place. I guess. I mean, the only question is do you feel like you could have done anything any differently? Do you think you could have taken no tires as well and made it, or did you just use your stuff up and you weren't going to be able to do that?
Yeah, I mean that's just a decision that I probably should have made, and I mean I was gonna make that decision independently, but I felt like it would leave me in a situation
Yeah.
where I would have been hawked down really easily because my teammates weren't gonna do the same thing. So I'm not really like blaming them. I'm just kind of I thought about that decision and I decided to do what you know was the safer option. But I mean looking back, definitely probably should have done it because my right front probably would have made it.
Lamar, 16
Yes, sir.
driver. My pick last week ends up with a close finish to pull out second place this week. How about you? Were you ever considering taking no tires down for the last stop?
I didn't have that in mind because it was 9 to go and my tire was sitting at 38, so it was kind of it was giving out a lot, and I just don't think I could have made it with 38% on my right rear. So I decided to take no tires, see how it would play out. But turned out pretty well. I rallied back up to second. Thought it was going to lose a few more spots, but no. I'll take second after that. I mean, congrats to Go. He pulled out a hell of a strategy. Don't know how he did that, but yeah, I'll gladly take second.
Yeah, go ahead, Colts.
Yeah, you put on a heck of a show out there. That's one question I have is, do you think you got the best? Do you think that you got like the best out of your car there?
Yeah, beginning of the race, it was pretty sloppy because I had no adjustments. Stage one, stage two, I was kind of in the back, but stage two, I rallied, gained 24 spots, and that's kind of how I finished second. If I didn't pull that off in stage two, I was probably gonna be in the back. But yeah, I mean, I'm really proud. The car felt really great though. After the adjustments came in, I felt like I was able to get a grip, be able to pass some cars around the outside really well, kind of get to the inside, gain some more speed on them in the corners. So the car was really nice this race, and I hope it stays like that for next future races.
Yeah, and I mean, again, don't really necessarily have any questions. But I mean, congratulations on a second place finish. A great move by you on that last lap. I guess I actually do have a question. I mean, with a solid run like that at Auto Club, what's the confidence level like going into next week at Vegas?
Well, I mean, there's a confidence boost, but if I'm being completely honest, Las Vegas isn't one of my best tracks, but all I'm going to say is just got to keep moving forward, continue to improve every single week, find some adjustments, just keep improving the car and get better results every single race.
Well, moving over to the winner of tonight's race, Go Boom in the number 15 car. You had the pit strategy that beat everybody. There wasn't a single guy who even tried to do what you did. First, two questions. One, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the race because we saw you get into it with a couple of guys at various moments of the race. But also before that, I'd love to know what you really felt going into that pit when you decided I'm not going to take tires.
I honestly going into the pit, I thought it was obvious. I thought a lot of people were going to take no tires. I could make it easily. So I just stayed out the longest I could. Took less gas. I took no tires. That was pretty easy to do, honestly. I don't know how other people couldn't do it. The race was stage one. I was second on the last, with 4 laps to go. Got lagged wrecked. I mean, can't really do anything there. Stage two, I got wrecked. Someone spun off the apron, and I got wrecked when I was like P8. So I would have got stage points tonight, but I got wrecked in all the stages. So that didn't help.
So, was there anybody in particular that you thought was racing you kind of ragged, or was it just kind of a field issue?
It was just everyone in the field. Not everyone, obviously, but a lot of people in the field were just sending the corners, not backing up the turns. Yeah.
boys?
Well, I don't have any questions, but I just want to say you made a fantastic call on pit lane, and congrats on your win. You earned it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, congratulations on the win. A very big win. I was watching Nobe's stream to kind of, keep a lap count, and I was looking at his tires, and I mean, I was thinking to myself it was going to be very close, but I really did think a couple more people were going to take the risk and go no tires. But I mean, not really a question. Congratulations. I mean, you pretty much, as long as you show up for the rest of the race, has kind of locked yourself into the playoffs. So I mean, I guess I will turn this into a question. What's your game plan for the rest of the season, knowing that if you do show up, you're already locked in? Is it just kind of going to be more aggressive going for playoff points? Because you don't necessarily need a point race at this point.
Las Vegas last season, or last Xfinity season, I won Las Vegas actually, so I should be good there. I mean, the rest of the season, just take it race by race and see what happens.
Well,
Right.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, good job. Go Boom. Good job to our top three. Decent job to a lot of other guys. Avoid those aprons, everybody.
In
And
2025.
we will see you tomorrow night for Auto Club. But the Xfinity guys, we're all next week, Wednesday, will be at Las Vegas for the second race of the West Coast Swing Auto Club this week, Vegas next week, and then Phoenix the week after that. And then we go road course racing. So stay tuned. Like I said before, make sure you hit the like, subscribe. This is the only premier NASCAR Heat 5 League racing that is still out on YouTube or Twitch or wherever the heck we're getting broadcasted. So stick it here. Watch a little bit of midweek racing because was there anything else on TV that was as entertaining? I don't know. Maybe there was a women's hockey game on somewhere. Maybe. But other than that, HPL, NASCAR Heat 5, Xfinity Cup Racing coming at you. I'll see you guys soon for Shake and Bake. Colts, go Boom. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.